All right, surprise, I'm back. If you're there and you can hear me okay, let me know in the chat. Be starting up in just a few minutes. Hi everybody, I'm back. I was just here and I left and I came back. I was not satisfied with this morning's live stream and I have the time today, possibly a mistake to do this. I'm not checking to see if I was muted, but I think what I've been longing to do, which I've been struggling to do, is just have a topic for a live stream. Come on. I will come onto the live stream and boom, get started with that topic, build a project, talk it through, mistakes, confusion, warts and all, and then say goodbye. So that's what I'm gonna do in this live stream. If you were here this morning, let me know in the chat, but I'm assuming it's kind of gonna be new people. The other thing that's kind of interesting is that YouTube I don't think will notify people twice in the same day. If a channel live streams multiple times, it will just do the first notification. So not that there was like a huge audience earlier, but last time I did a second live stream, the audience actually grew much larger, I think because of the topic. So yes, B2B 331, this is the second live stream today. And my assumption is that whatever I do today will get edited into a standalone video that will come out probably several weeks from now. I don't want to get lost in like, let me tell you everything that I'm planning, or because I've been doing so much of that. So I'm just going to jump right in. But I will say There's quite a backlog. Let me just list. Bayesian text classification coding challenge video. Introduction to transformers.js video. I think I did a language model, transformers model, local model in the browser session during one of my live streams. I think that's going to go fall onto the cutting room floor, and I'm going to come back to revisit that again. I mean, it might appear, concept might appear in today's stream. So that's just two. Bayesian, intro to transformers.js. Then last week I did a stream all about sampling and temperature. And then today, earlier today, I did looking at new font and text functions in P5.2. And so this would be the fifth video in the pipeline to come out on the coding train. But I'm trying to flood the zone here. No longer these like, artisanally edited. I mean, there's still a lot of editing, post-production happening, but I'm trying not to overthink things. Do live streams, cut them up, release, rinse and repeat. Okay. Okay, so I see there's some questions in the chat, but not the time for that right now. Let's begin. Oh, don't, okay. All right. Let's begin. Let's begin. I can do this. I can just begin. Very little stopping and starting. Messiness encouraged. Oh, wow, Kobe is here. So I just want to give a big shout out to Kobe because Kobe has contributed so much to the coding train over the years. I've not seen Kobe during a live stream in quite some time. This is what the afternoon and Easter time brings out. It brings out the Europeans. I don't know if anybody gets that reference. It's European. But if you do, great. And I don't even know if I'm saying it in a way that reference will make any sense. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a coding challenge video. I am unprepared. I am going to fumble my way through this. I'm going to attempt to make a conversational chatbot, one that listens to me speak and speaks back to me. And yes, there's going to be some small, tiny little quotes AI involved, and I will talk about that. The purpose of this is not to create a useful, productive, meaningful assistant. The thing that I'm trying to do with this is have some fun. I said I wasn't going to start over. Sweden is in Europe. Hi from Ecuador. Okay. I'm having trouble. I wanted to get out of my system. I said, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Give me a couple chances with the opening and then we're moving right into it, as I always say. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a coding challenge video. Today, I'm going to attempt to build a conversational voice chatbot. The key things that I want to demonstrate are how in a P5.js sketch that you're seeing right here, what would it mean to you if you could talk to your P5.js sketch and your P5.js sketch could talk back to you? What kinds of creative, strange, and odd possibilities could emerge? I'm doing more videos and coding challenges that make use of machine learning models. My point of view about that is a couple things. One, I want to demystify the technology. I want you to see how it works, play with the material of it. I also want to encourage and show how you can use this technology to make weird, strange, creative, artistic projects. I want to show how you can use this technology for creative expression. What does it mean to make art with the technology? What does it mean to make social commentary, to be critical of it? And whatever I said this morning was so much better when I wasn't trying to say anything. I just was talking. Last chance. It's okay. I started 10 minutes early. And I'm letting people trickle in. So as people trickle in, we're gonna get to this. Once I get to the coding, no stopping and starting allowed. Just to sort of like get my thoughts out here. Hi, everybody. I am here to make a coding challenge. And today I'm going to attempt to make a conversational voice chatbot right here in a P5JS sketch. So I am asking the question to you. If you could talk to your sketch and your sketch could talk back to you, what kinds of projects would you make? I think that's enough. So let me map out to you the pieces of this project as I envision them. We need some system for speech to text. We need some system. By speech to text, I mean I speak, the computer listens, converts it into text. Then we need a system for text to speech. By that, I mean I have a string of text and I have, by that, I mean I have a string of text and I want it to be spoken by an automated voice. Then I need a brain, I'll say, a brain for the bot. How is the bot going to process the inputs that it gets from speech to text and generate the outputs that it sends to text to speech? So this is where we have to have a talk about AI. I want to put some more cogent thoughts maybe into an entire video just about my approach to working with AI and machine learning models on this channel. I've been doing it for years already. I have many videos about what is a neural network. I have videos about the ML5JS library, and I plan to make many more of those. I'm trying to find my way, carve myself into this area, dip my toe in, but not jump all the way in and drown. At present, my goal is to, number one, demystify the technology. I want to look at how things work and be able to put the technology into the hands of viewers like you to be able to have agency and understanding, and which is needed, I think, in this world that we're living in where AI models seem to be just popping up everywhere. Sorry, I was reading the chat. And then the next thing I was going to say is demystify. The other thing is I am personally curious to investigate what is possible with the technology that is being offered by huge behemoth big tech companies with closed cloud-based systems. What's possible for the individual to do on consumer hardware with open source models with your own data? So that's what I'm trying to prioritize in these series, which is for many. So that's what I'm trying to prioritize at present. For me, I think the best way to learn about something is to learn by doing. And I think also the best way to examine and be critical of something is through creative play, art, expression. So that's my question here. If we look at a machine learning model for speech to text, a machine learning model for text to speech, maybe even a language model, putting all those things together in a P5JS sketch, what creative possibilities does that unlock for you, the viewer? What kind of art would you make? What kind of social commentary? What kind of art would you make? What kind of tools could you make to help yourself and others? How can you be critical and thoughtful about the world of AI technology through making your own projects with the material that is the machine learning models, the AI systems themselves? Okay, so off my soapbox. I don't know. Okay, that's just the way I'm thinking of navigating it today. I'm going to put that to the side and start building this project. So that begs the question, what am I going to use for all of these things? For speech to text, I'm going to use a particular model called Whisper. This model was developed by OpenAI, but maybe from a different time. It is an open source model that can be run locally on your computer, even in the browser. You'll see that. For text to speech, I'm going to use something that's come out pretty recently. Thank you to Znova from Hugging Face, the creator of Transformers.js, who pointed me to this model. It's called Kokoro TTS. I'm making the point that these are very small, very lightweight, very fast. These are small, lightweight, fast models. They're a small footprint. They run, so they aren't as capable or advanced. They aren't as capable or advanced. I don't know what to say. They aren't as capable or advanced as other types of systems that you might find that run in the cloud, that are commercial, that are proprietary. I will mention that for voice model, yeah, maybe I don't. And if you have ideas or thoughts about other models you're interested in or that you might like to use, feel free to let me know in the comments. I don't know. I don't need to say all that. That's fine. Whatever. Then the brain is the big question. To me, this is almost the least important thing for me to do. This is where I ask you to be creative. You don't need a large language model to be the brain of your chatbot. On my channel, I've looked at Markov chains, context-free grammars, simple pattern matching systems like RiveScript for chatbots. So many possibilities there. So this is where I want you to think about and be as creative as you can if you build anything on top of what I'm going to attempt to do in this challenge today. Okay, I don't know that I needed the whiteboard, but I have this new whiteboard, so I had to use it. Okay. Here we go. The other thing I should mention is that I am using P5.2, and I will be making use of features of P5.2 like support for async and await. So if that's all new to you, check out my video about that. Let's start by building a very crude interface. I'm going to make this a push-to-talk system. So I need mouse pressed and mouse released. All right, there's literally going to be no interface, so I don't need that big of a canvas. I want more room for my code. Should it be red when you're pushing and then green when you release? I'm not sure, but I'll just put something in. Okay, the idea here is that when I press the mouse, hello, chatbot thing, and then when I release, it's going to transcribe what I just said. So that's got to be step one, and I have just, again, a very crude interface. Color it red for mouse pressed, color it green at mouse released. Another prerequisite for this video is my introduction to transformers.js, where I looked at just how the ecosystem of Hugging Face models and transformers.js, the JavaScript library, works. But I'm just going to jump right into that. So you can, for more background, so I guess you don't really have to watch it to follow this video, but it'll give you more background as to what I'm doing if you're interested. So on the Hugging Face website, I'm going to look for the model I want to use. Let's go under models. I'm going to look under tasks, and look at this, text to speech. No. I want speech to text. It's actually here under automatic speech recognition. So let me click that. Then I need to make sure whatever model I find is compatible with transformers.js. So I'm going to go to libraries, transformers.js, and whoo, now we have a lot of options. First, let me just say a couple words about Whisper. Again, Whisper, released by OpenAI back in September 2022. This is a fully open model with the paper, the code, and something called a model card, which anytime you're using a machine learning model is something you absolutely want to read and review first. Beyond even reading the model card, might I suggest to you, you read the paper Model Cards for Model Reporting by Margaret Mitchell and collaborators. This is a seminal paper in maybe I shouldn't. Model Cards for Model Reporting by many luminaries and I guess I could say Margaret Mitchell is the first name and collaborators. Is that an appropriate way to say it? I don't want to say it incorrectly. This paper provides a framework for how machine learning researchers who are training models should release the information about their models. I guess this paper proposes a framework that encourages transparent model reporting. So various things, so all sorts of important information about what data was used to train the model, what its intended uses are, how it was evaluated, and other key elements and background for that model itself. Okay. Here's the Whisper model card, and an important thing to note here is it comes in various sizes. So for me, I'm looking for the smallest one, tiny. The size has to do with the number of connections, essentially, inside of the neural network architecture. Beyond the scope of this video, but I'll point you to additional resources to understand more about that in this video's description. The other, so I'm poking around here to find the one that I want to use. I think I'm going to go look under Onyx Community. Actually, let's filter. So Onyx Community, Onyx. So Onyx stands for Open Neural Network Exchange. It's a standardized format for storing the weights of a neural network, and it just so happens to be compatible with JavaScript and transformers.js, the library in particular. So I'm going to use whispertiny.en because I'm only going to speak to it right now in English, and that'll get me the smallest model for doing this today in this coding challenge. Copy that model path and come back to P5. Okay, I've got to import the transformers.js library. And the way I'm going to do that is by making setup an async function. And then I'm going to get the transformers.js pipeline from the library. So I'm going to call a special function in JavaScript called import, which is a fancy new way to bring in libraries. I said a lot more about this in that other video. And I need the path to the library. Where am I going to find that? Can I find that? Where am I? I have it. I have some notes here. So I have it. I could just type it, but I was kind of like to find where it goes. Oh, here we go. There we go. This is perfect. Okay, found it on the installation page for transformers.js. Oh, is there something going on with the microphone? Let me just check this. I'm just taking a pause for a second to see if there's like significant audio issues. Okay, so according to this, the next thing I might do is, oh, let me make a pipeline for the text-to-speech. But let's actually build this in parts, and let's first just only get the Whisper model working. Oh, shoot. Okay. How long was I muted? Oh, crap. How long was I muted for? I'll wait. I gotta go. That's fine. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. The whiteboard wasn't muted, weirdly enough. Okay. I'm glad you guys. Yeah. I'm waiting for the chat to catch up to me. Okay. So how long ago was that? Since you checked the mic. Well, I don't remember what I did when I checked the mic. Since the start of the transcriber. Okay. Had I done this? I know, but I don't remember. Since I don't. I guess I'm just going to go back to further. I'll go back further because I don't remember when. Obviously, it was muted since I checked for audio issues when I muted for a second. I just don't remember what I was doing then. Talked about import. Okay. But did I get all the way through import? I think I did. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hopefully, right after you talked about import, great. So pipeline is actually a function, and I can use it to return. I know this is too bad because I don't remember, but just imported the transform. Okay. Did you hear me explain what a pipeline is? I think I did. Anyway. So now I actually want to get a specific pipeline. Pipeline is a function that will create. Yeah. Oh, this is really too bad. You can hear about the transcriber. Yeah. 9 to 11. I know, but what did I say last? I guess I should just go back and look. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just go back and explain stuff again. It's fine because it's better for me to do that and it'll be more seamless anyway. So I've imported the library, and what I want from the library is this thing called a pipeline. What is a pipeline? Pipeline, it's the thing that gets the stuff into it and then puts the stuff out of it. It's essentially where the machine learning model is held. And I want to make a speech-to-text pipeline, a text-to-speech pipeline. So to do that, I can actually put this pipeline into a variable. So to do that, I actually call pipeline. So to do that, pipeline is actually a function. And I'm going to take the result of that function, and I'm going to make up something. Let's call it a transcriber. Need a variable name, where I'm going to create a pipeline. That error message shouldn't have been there the whole time. So I'm going to do this one more time. Installation instructions from transformer.js. But I got all the way through typing this line, right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to paste it in here. Let's do this. I guess I closed that. It's terrible when I lose my momentum here. Okay. So now I've actually imported the library. And I've imported the library, or at least the most important part of the library, into this object, or what it actually is a function called pipeline. And I'm going to use that to create a machine learning pipeline. Pipeline, I guess, being the word because the data is coming into it, and then the results of processing that data flow out of it. And I want to do text to speech. So let me make up a variable. I'll call it transcriber. And I'm going to await the creation of that pipeline. And the two key things I need for any given pipeline are the name of the model that I want to use and the task, or I should have said it in the other order. I need the task and then the specific model to execute that task. So the task is automatic speech recognition. I think that's what it was called. And the model is this Whisper Tiny English. I also want to specify the device to run the model on. And in this case, web GPU, the browser's connection to the graphics hardware is the device that the model will run best on. It's really important for me to note, even though I'm going to turn on my microphone and have this P5 sketch listen to me, my audio is never going to leave my computer. It's all going to be processed locally on this computer inside the browser. The model is being pulled from the cloud, but the model runs inside the browser locally. Okay. So next, I might want to create a pipeline for text to speech, but let's stick with speech to text, get that fully working before we move on to the next step. Okay. So we have to have another talk about P5 sound. P5.2 has a new, oh, okay. So we have to have another talk, and it's about so now we have to have a talk about how to get access to the microphone. So there is a P5 sound library, incredible library. There's actually a new version of the library, fully compatible and designed for P5.2. I would really like to make some video tutorials about it, and somebody in the future who's watched this video should bug me and remind me about that. For now, what I think I'm going to do, because I'm going to figure out a bunch of things in order to process the audio into the right format to go into the Whisper model, I'm going to use native web audio API. And then hopefully by the time you're watching this, there will be a version of this, whatever example I make here, working with P5, the sound library as well. So there should be 2 code examples in this video's description. I don't know, you tell me, you're watching this now, presumably, in the future. Okay. So I need to look up Navigator Media Devices Get User Media. So I need to look up, it's called the Navigator Media Devices. I think the function's called Get User Media. So that would be here. Is there an example? Yes, constraints. Okay. This, I believe, is the code to open up a connection to the microphone. This, I believe, is the code to open up a connection to the microphone. So I'm going to grab this. And let's make a global variable called mic. And right here, I'm going to say mic equals await Navigator, media devices, get user. Oh, the constraints. So what I want, I believe, is audio true. I think that's the property. Let's just run this sketch. Did it ask me for the microphone? Ah, well, it didn't ask me. I've already given it permission. But we can see the microphone is in use. This page is accessing your microphone. Sweet. Okay. Now the Whisper model, I believe, the Whisper model is designed to process an audio file, essentially. This is something maybe we could talk about later. There's probably a way we could finesse this to have it always be listening and detect pauses. But again, I'm going to build a push to talk. Listen to me, stop listening to me. So to capture audio between the start and stop listening, I need a media recorder. And again, this is all stuff that the P5 sound library wraps, but it's good for us to, in this video, to learn about how it works underneath the hood. So I think I could just make another global variable called recorder. And then I can say recorder equals new media recorder mic. That seems good. Okay, now I need to look for the events. So now I need to look for the events. Start, stop. Okay, those I need. And then I need data available. Where's that? Data available event. Yes, okay. This is what I need. This is what I need because as there's data available, I need to collect all the audio data into an array because the array is what I'm going to pass to the Whisper model. This might be the hardest part of the whole thing, to be honest. So let's grab this. And then let's make another global variable called chunks, like the audio chunks. I feel like that's a standard variable name people use. Audio chunks. Then, as data comes in, push that data into the audio chunks array. Okay. And when I press the mouse, that's when I just call recorder.start. I'm just double checking. I mean, I shouldn't be double checking my notes so much here, but yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. And then when I do mouse released, recorder.stop. And then let's look at the audio chunks just to make sure this is working. Hello, I am speaking in chunks of audio. Great. We got a big... Great, we got a big blob of audio. Perfect. Now, I probably could just process the audio right here, but I think my Discord is beeping, and so I'm uncertain if that means something important. Kind of want to turn off the beeping, but it was good because it started going wild when my audio was muted. I'll just assume one beep doesn't mean anything. I think I could just process the audio here, but recorder.stop, it might actually not be done instantaneously. And I believe... Stops recording, at which point a data available event contains the final blob of saved data. Oh. Huh. So maybe I could get all the data all at once? I'm going to do it the way I'm doing it anyway, but I'm looking for more events. Stop. Yeah, I want the stop event. And that's when I want to process the audio. So recorder on stop. Now, I'm kind of mixing different JavaScript style. I'm using this like arrow syntax and anonymous function right there for on data available. But I think I'm going to have to do more stuff in on stop. So let's set that equal to a function that I'm going to call like process audio. And I assume eventually at some point I'll clean up and refactor this code, which I always do. I mean, clearly, if you've ever watched the coding train, all of my code is perfectly refactored and organized at the end of every coding challenge. Okay, so okay. Yes, 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 yes. So let's look at what I have in the chunks again. Hello. It's an array with a blob in it. And I want this array buffer. I have to turn it into a waveform. I mean, that's what I remember from Zenova's examples that he shared with me before I started this coding challenge. So I think I can call this array buffer function. But what if the audio chunks has more than one blob in it? That's my issue. I think I can make a blob out of however many things are in there. Because blobs are very flexible. Let's try this. Hello. Yeah. Now I took that array, which had a blob in it, and made it a blob. I think that's good. I think that'll protect me better. And now I could call array buffer. Does that need await? Let's find out. Hello. Yeah, it's a promise. Where the console is bad, but Mathieu will fix that. It'll lift it up. It's a promise, meaning I've got to await it. No. And async it. Hello. Where am I? Why is it empty? Okay. I'm not going to worry about it being empty. I think it's probably not actually empty. So I need to convert it into a waveform. And to do that, I need the audio context. Because there's a decode audio data function. let's see, decode audio data. See, you can take an array buffer and decode it into something. It's all about like processing the raw. It's the raw audio data is just numbers, but we've got to reformat it into a way that the model's going to understand. I don't really know enough about this stuff to speak with any intelligence here. Okay, but where do I call this function? Yeah, audio context. So I need to get the audio context first. So let's make a variable. Let's call it CTX. And at the beginning, or right before I do this, let's make a new audio context for this whole system. Yeah. And something that I know also from Zenova's examples is that I need to set the sample rate. I believe that this particular whisper model requires the audio to have a 16 hertz sample rate. 16,000 hertz? What is it? Kilohertz. 16 kilohertz. 16,000 is 16 kilohertz. Excellent. Okay. So now I should be able to get the decoded audio. Is the context decode audio data, the array buffer. And I have to await that. Okay. I'm almost there. Let's look at the decoded audio, because I think the waveform is in there. Hello. Okay, I've got an audio buffer with a sample rate. It was a very short duration. It's got one channel. Excuse me, I just burped. Get channel data. That's it. It's only got one channel, so I need to get the channel data from channel 1, or I think it's channel 0. Let waveform equals await decoded audio get channel data 0. Console log. Let's look at the waveform. Ahoy! Cool. Yeah. Look, here's all the raw audio. We could graph it. I bet you we could graph this and have a nice little like wave. Ooh, we could have like cool visualizations of me talking. Okay, but that's not the point of this video. I'm not going to do that. I think I could just do this now. Let text equals await. Guess what? The transcriber just needs the waveform. Console log the text. Okay, ready for this? I think we've got it. I'm trying to think of something to say. Freshen your drink, governor. Oh, I had an error. That was so sad. What did I miss? Transcriber is not defined. Ah! That needs to be a global variable the way that I've written this code. Again, maybe not best practice, but let's try this again. Choo-choo. Speech to text. Done. Okay. Actually, we have to do this out of order. Now we need the brain to process it. One of the first chatbots, one of the most famous first early chatbots was a chatbot named Eliza. And I think it stood for something. Let's go find this out. Eliza is an early natural language processing computer developed from 1964 to 1967 at MIT by Joseph Weizenbaum. What did it stand for? I thought it stood for something. So these early systems, and I've talked about this before in other videos about, what was it called? AI, ML, markup language. Where's that AI markup language? Yeah. I've talked about this before in previous videos. There's something called the artificial intelligence artificial intelligence markup language, which was created in 95. Aha, Alice was an extended ELIZA, which stood for Artificial Linguistic Internet Computer Entity. What's it called when the name of something is engineered to stand for something? Like DALL-E was an example of this. Anyway, not important. Okay. These systems are a pattern and template. These systems were pattern matching systems, looking for a particular pattern in what a user was saying, and then having a predefined response for that pattern. And those predefined responses could include variables and conditionals and all the traditional tools we have in programming. RiveScript is a simple scripting language for chatbots that you can continue to use now. I highly recommend it. I have videos about it. Maybe I'll bring a RiveScript example into this one in a moment. But let's make a crude version of ELIZA. Essentially, what I want to say once I have that text is I want to process the text. So I'll write a function called process, and we'll get a response from it. And I'm just going to return, how does text make you feel? So this is my chatbot. This is my therapist chatbot. Whatever you say to it, it says back to you, how does whatever you said make you feel? So let's make sure this works. Bananas. Oh, shoot. I didn't console log the response. Maybe we'll take that out. Oh, and I've got to switch this to response. Bananas. Oh, how does object make you feel? Oh, object makes me feel so sad. Let's look at the response. I forgot, the text is not the raw text. Bananas. Ah, response.text. Or text dot. This is really the, let's call this the transcription. Transcription text. Okay, last try. Blueberries. How does blueberries make you feel? Delicious. Okay, great. We're almost done, people. Now we need text to speech. We've made a simple brain. I think at the end of this video, I'll plug in other more sophisticated brains to our chatbot, but that's good enough for now. Now let's talk about Kokoro TTS. I thought I had this open. Yes. Okay. Here is the GitHub repository for Kokoro TTS. It's actually designed primarily to run as a command line interface, so something you would run from the terminal of your computer, and you can operate it for all sorts of kinds of applications. Looking for kind of the model card. There's a where does it say? I thought I read somewhere about what the data that was used to train it. Maybe if I go to this website. Oh, I'm not in the official library. Okay. Thank you, Zenova. Great. You just got here just in time. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Let me go to Hexgrad. I knew I was in the wrong place. That's the CLI. So I'm totally wrong. Okay, this is it. There we go. Okay. Thank you. This is the GitHub repo for the official Kokoro model. It's open source, licensed with Apache, although it's an open weights model licensed with Apache. It's also open source given the code that's here. Although I think the training I think is all open source. Is that right? Can I say open source? I always get confused. And let me see training. Synthetic training data. Just want to find information about the training. Yeah. I see. People are snatching up the name. What else do I want to say about this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering if this... Now I'm wondering if this website is actually... I think this might be somebody who took the model and like made a cloud server and like made a little business out of it, like pricing and all that. So like, yeah, I don't think this is Hexcrad's site. Hugging Face. Let's look at the yeah. Let's look at the. Where is? Here we go. Kokoro Web. Oh no, this is the space. I don't need that. Yeah. Where? Okay, let me find it. I just. Where do I? How come I'm not finding? Here we go. There we go. Great. Okay, I'm just going to point people to the model card. Oh, the training details. Here we go. Okay, great. Perfect. This is the This is the GitHub repo for the Kokoro model, and over here on Hugging Face, we can read the model card. We can find out things about what the actual architecture of the model is. You can read this paper on style TTS 2. We can also see that this model was trained with public domain audio as well as synthetic audio generated by other TTS models from large providers. And the audio is licensed under Apache and, okay, well. And you can see here more about the training data, which includes public domain audio and other synthetic audio as well. And Zenova has a wonderful, quick, Zenova is going to save me about 10 minutes in this coding challenge because there's a really quick getting started page right here where I can see how to import the model as well as import and load the model as well as quickly generate some audio from it. However, remember, we're not working in Node.js or some other. But remember, we're working in client-side JavaScript only. So I've got to take this and use the import. I've got to adapt this code to use the import loading function and the full URL path of the Kokoro JavaScript library. So right up here, this is my speech to text. Now, let's load text to speech. So I'm going to load Kokoro. Kokoro TTS and from and can I get the path here? I have it written down in my notes. I just would like to find it. JS deliver. Here we go. Click on JS. So I'm on the NPM page for Kokoro. I could click on JS deliver. And then here's the path. Just to make sure that's the same version I used. Yep. Okay, great. Ah. No, I want to. I'm going to need the actual file name. I don't think this is going to work. Let's see. Oh, maybe it will. Yeah, failed to fetch dynamically imported model. I actually need to include the full path for this to work. So that's dist and then the library file, which I have over here, kokoro.web.js. Let's see if this works. Great. Okay. Now, even though I'm going to load the model from Hugging Face, just like now, even though I'm going to load the model from Hugging Face, and this looks just like awaiting the pipeline, the Kokoro model is not part of the transformers.js pipeline framework just yet. So at this moment in time, I need to say Kokoro TTS dot from pre-trained, which is just a fancy way of saying load this pre-trained model. So let's grab all of this. And I'm going to get this audio. Oops, I heard a beep. Where am I doing here? And okay. I don't know. Can I just play this audio? I don't think so. I think it's just the audio data. Okay, let's look at what this audio is. I don't think I can just play it. Okay, I got some kind of object that has audio data in it with a sampling rate, but there's no play function. I think I'm going to have to convert it into something that I can play. So let's take all this to another function. Let's write a function called speak. And let's write that here. It's an async function that's going to speak some text. Oh, whoops. Also, in my futzing around, I was copy pasting and I have an extra transcriber here. So let's get rid of that. Okay. We'll look at my notes here. So I'm going to look up create buffer source. Okay. The first thing I need to look up, I think, is something called create buffer source. I think this should be with the audio context. Yes. Create buffer source can be used to play audio data contained within an audio buffer object. So I already have the audio context. And I'm going to create an buffer. Do I need a buffer first? Let's try this. Look at my notes here. This is me cheating. This will get edited out. Oh, I don't do this in my, yeah, create buffer. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So let's call this a buffer. And my context was just CTX. I have one channel. Frame count is how much? Hold on. Let's look at this audio object again. Oh, I have it here. Audio. I have an audio object inside of the audio object. Oh, I froze. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the raw audio is just this giant raw audio thing. So I just need the length of that. Okay. Boy, that console did not like console logging that. Let's clear that. Okay. So it's audio. So let's call this something besides audio. Generated or audio data or something. I don't know what to call this. But we're going to create this buffer with one channel, audio data.length, and then a sample rate, which doesn't look like it was specified here, but that's fine. I know it's supposed to be 24,000 because I looked this up before I started. Okay, so we've made a buffer out of this audio data. That's good. Let's call this result or response. Let's call it result. Because it's, and also it's result.audio.length. Okay. Now I need to make a buffer source. Oh, this buffer I made is empty. So I need to put all the stuff into it. Aha. Aha. Audio buffer copper. Aha. Audio buffer copy to channel. Okay. So now buffer copy to channel, the result is audio, I think. I guess I need the channel number. Okay. Now I need that. What was it called again? The buffer context? Buffer source. Buffer source. Create buffer source. Create buffer source. Create buffer. Where do we? Source connect. Create source buffer is the array buffer. So I think this is all I need here, right? It looks like I create the buffer source. I put the data in the buffer and I connect it to the audio context speaker, and then I play it. So this should basically work, but it might need different variable names. So I called it source, and I just called this buffer, and source connect to the audio context destination, and source.start. Oh, TTS. This needs to be a global variable. Okay, let's try this again.
Hello P5.js.
Okay, we did it. Let's look at all the voices. So we can pick a different one if we want. We can call TTS.list voices.
Hello P5.js.
Whoa. Look at what it printed out here. This is too hard to read. I think the P5 console is not formatted well for this. Well, I guess I could make it smaller. There we go. It actually formatted this like whole table. So one thing I'll say is this particular model does not support voice cloning. It's a whole other topic, which I don't know, at some point maybe I might get into. But here we just have a fixed set of predefined voices to work from. Let's try a British accent. I don't know. Well, we have Santa Claus, apparently. Puck. I don't know. Let's listen to George.
Hello P5.js.
Oh, I'm being told by the chat. I'm being told by a chat that there was a Daniel in there. I don't remember. Is it going to be here in the history? Anybody remember the actual name? Was it this? I don't remember. What was it? I don't want to have to print the voices again. Where's the list of voices? BM Daniel. Okay. Okay, let's try Daniel.
Hello P5.js.
Sounds just like me. Okay. So let's remove speak from here. And then once we have the response from my process function, my brain, then we should be able to speak that response. I'm very tired today. Whoops. What did I do wrong? It would be nice not to spell, be nice to spell response correctly. I'm hungry for lunch.
How does I'm hungry for lunch make you feel?
It makes me feel hungry.
How does I'm hungry for lunch? It makes me feel hungry. Make you feel.
Wait, why did it get all of that? Mango.
How does I'm hungry for lunch? It makes me feel hungry. Make you feel.
Oh! I just realized something. I have this audio chunks array that I'm putting all the audio data in, but I never clear it. So it's retranscribing everything every time. So after it's transcribed the waveform, I need to clear out audio chunks. That should fix that issue. Blueberries.
How does blueberries make you feel?
Delicious.
How does delicious make you feel?
Okay, so not the most sophisticated chatbot, but it's working. I think it would be nice to know when the speaking has stopped. So I think I should be able to get an event for when this playback has stopped. I think it's called ended. So if I have an audio buffer source node, I know what it is. I'm just looking for the reference. All right, I'm just going to put this in here. So to do that, I can do a add event listener, and the event is ended. And then that should just be a function. And let's draw the background. Let's do the start screen. Let's just make this a function. Push to talk. And then, so we first draw push to talk when the sketch starts. And then I think this should be the event for when it's done. It'll draw push to talk again. Let's just see if that works. Frankenstein.
How does Frankenstein make you feel?
Perfect. Okay. So I've actually built this whole thing. I'm trying to think of what to do next. It's 4:25. I've got to finish this up. Okay. Hold on. I'm just looking for, I'm going to pull up an example. So hold on. Let's hook it up to, no. No, hold on. Sorry. Why is this not, there we go. No. Oh, let's go to the, okay. No, let's go. Okay, hold on. I know I'm thinking about, I'm doing too many things at once, but here we go. I'm gonna go to this page. Okay. So I've actually previously done coding challenges like this, voice chatbot with P5 speech from 2017. I guess this is kind of an updated version of that. And in that coding challenge, I actually used, and in that coding challenge, I used RiveScript to create a number guessing chatbot. Let's look at this real quick. Guess a number between 1 and 10. I got it! Pick a higher number. Pick a higher number. Pick a lower number. Pick a higher number. You got it. Let's see if we can bring this brain into my chatbot. So I need a plain text file to load the RiveScript format. I need a plain text file to load the RiveScript code, essentially. All of this was covered in my RiveScript video. Oh, this was a different one. Then this is the code to load that brain. And okay. And I'm going to just load it right at the beginning of setup. And then here is the reply that comes from the RiveScript bot. Oh, I guess I have to say new RiveScript there. And let's make a global variable called bot. So now I've set up RiveScript. I've loaded the RiveScript itself. This is going to be a problem because I wonder if it's going to transcribe me guessing a number into the word rather than the number, but we'll see. Then here is the code for processing a reply. And here's the code for essentially the pipeline, the RiveScript pipeline, taking the text and generating a reply. So I have this very simple process function. Now I just add this and I return the reply. And I add an async to it. And I also then add an await here. Okay, so now we should have a number guessing chatbot. Oh, wait, got some errors. RiveScript is not defined. I need to import the RiveScript library, which I can get from here. This library is imported the traditional way. Hello.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
Hold on. Breaking news. I forgot to set the device for Kokoro TTS. Hopefully I've been editing out how long I've had to wait for the speech to come back every time, but let's make it faster right now. D-type floating point 32. Device, web GPU. Thank you, Zenova. Oh, the other thing I want to do is I want to console log what's happening. Just in case, just to know what's going on here. Oh, what did I get wrong there? What did I screw up? Oh, maybe the model wasn't loaded yet. Hold on. I haven't put anything into this sketch to track the loading of the models. So right now I'm just going to put a console log at the very end of setup. In my video about transformers.js, I showed how you can add a progress callback to these model loading functions, and then you could draw an animation or something while the models are loading. All the models are loaded. Hello.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
5.
Pick a lower number.
4.
Pick a lower number.
3.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
So it failed because my system is not smart enough to know that that's the number 3. So that could be fixed, but I don't have the energy to fix that now. Let's keep going. 3.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
3.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
2.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
How can I fix that in RiveScript? There's a way to like set up a template of things that mean other things. All right, let's just try it again and hope it's a higher number and it'll work. Hi.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
5.
Pick a lower number.
4.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
2.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
Darn it. Okay. Gosh, I'm gonna fix it. I have to fix it. Otherwise I'll never be able to sleep. What's a like really efficient way of doing this? Somebody give me a suggestion. Okay, hold on. Map. I know. I just like I'm like I know yeah, that's okay. Okay. How can I yeah, lowercase. Okay. So okay. Okay. So I should be able to set the text to lowercase and then trim it. Could probably use a regular expression to just match it anywhere in, and then have the value should equal numbers with the key num. If so I'm only going to do this. Okay, so first I should trim it. Okay. And let's just say if the length of it, no, how can I determine if it's a number? If oh yeah. If how do I test a regular expression? Can I do this? Okay. This is the worst code I've ever written. But I insist on fixing this. Is that how test works? No. Ah. Got it. The test function operates on the regular expression. So if it's not a number, switch it to the corresponding word. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that'll work. No, if it's not a digit, it's the word, a number. So look it up here to get the actual digit, put it in val. Oh, this is ridiculous, but I think this will work. Hello.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
6.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
Oh, undefined. This was a terrible idea. This might have to be taken out of the final video. Oh, yeah. Oh, I need that. Yeah. That has to be val. I have to do the test on val. Remove dot. The trim should remove the dot, right? Hello.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
5.
Pick a lower number.
4.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
I guess it didn't remove the dot. So that'll take off the dot. Ready, everybody? It's going to happen. Good morning.
Guess a number between 1 and 10.
14.
Pick a lower number.
7.
Pick a lower number.
4.
Pick a lower number.
2.
You got it.
Okay. Since we're here and we're already working in Transformers.js, let's look at how we might add a language model to the brain. We're going to go back to Hugging Face. We're going to go to models. We're going to go to text generation. We're going to select oh, it's okay. That's all being recorded, so I'm just going to keep going. I mean, I guess I should just in case. We're going to go back to Hugging Face, to models, to text generation, to libraries, to Transformers.js. And I'm going to look for small. And let's try this one. There is so much to say about language models. I would like to use one following what I talked about at the beginning of this video, where I can point to a model card that has a lot of information about how the model was trained. Oh, there's a vision one. Okay, I'll come back to that another time. And in particular, where I can examine and know about exactly what data was used to train this model. So Hugging Face has actually released its own family of lightweight language models. and they're called small, and there's LM1 and LM2, and LM3 seems to be the latest. What size you pick, whether it's a base model versus an instruct model, means all sorts of different things. I've got to come back and do a whole separate video just about that. So maybe by the time you're watching that, maybe by the time that you're watching this, maybe by the time that you're watching this, that video will exist and I'll point to it. But for now, let's go to this particular model. I'm going to copy its path, and I'm going to come here, and I'm going to duplicate this sketch. Let's remove all the RiveScript. And right after I load the pipeline for speech recognition, I'm going to make a variable called LLM. Oh, I already have a variable called bot, but let's call it LLM. My task is text generation. My model is small LM2, 360 million parameters, instruct model. And let's run it on web GPU. And let's take a look at how the code is designed. So in this case, I actually need to create an array that constitutes the history of the conversation. So I'm going to start with an array of messages. Let's have that be another global variable. Let's only put the system message in it right now. And let's say you are a frog and you only say ribbit no matter what anyone else ever says. Okay. Great. So the system prompt is essentially the predefined instructions for how this model should behave. A lot more to say and think about there. But now, this process function, which previously had my insane RiveScript parsing code, now can take that text, and that text, I can format it like this. The content is the text. I can add it to the conversation, the messages array. And then the response is await the LLM, which receives the messages array. And let's add this max new tokens. That is going to constrain the length of this particular model's reply. And I'm just going to grab both of this. And the generate, so there's an output object, which we maybe need to examine what's in there. But based off of the example code, I should just look for the first element, generate a text at -1. So it's probably the whole messages array, and I want the last one, which is coming back from the model, and its content. So let's just see what happens. Hello there. Oh, I don't think all the models loaded yet. So I should be adding some error protection. Like I should not be able to push to talk until all of the models load. I guess it's kind of, oh, all the models loaded. Hello there. We had an error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading push. Line 81. Messages push message. Ah. Oh. I redeclared the variable in setup. So I need that to be a global variable. Hello. Another error. Where is this? Cannot read property. Generator is not defined. Oh, I forgot I had copy pasted some example code in there. So this is actually LLM. And this is messages. And there we go. Okay, here we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it looks like my system prompt wasn't very well followed. The assistant said back, good morning. Let's add a couple things that are important here. So language models are probabilistic models that are predicting tokens. Language models predict the next tokens in a sequence based on a set of probabilities. And we should be adding this property called doSample to make sure it's making full use of those probabilities. I made a whole video all about this, so that's in another video. You have too many videos to watch, but it's there. And there's also a temperature. Yeah. So let's try this again. Hello. Oh, I keep forgetting that I have to wait. Hello.
Looks like your character is a frog, not a person. Well, the last person to speak has probably passed, didn't they? Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
There we go. Okay. Now that that's working, if I want this conversation to continue, then I need to make sure that this response is put into the messages array so that that messages array will accumulate over time with the entire conversation history and have that be sent into the model each time. How did I, just looking. So let's make a variable called reply, which is equal to the parsed out content of the reply. I'm realizing I might be reformatting something that's already formatted, but that's fine. And then I'm going to say messages push role assistant content reply. And I think this would be simpler for me to just put this right here and return that reply to speak. So essentially what this is doing is it's getting the text that I've said, putting it into the messages array, passing the messages array to the language model, getting the reply, making sure that reply is stored in the messages array, speaking it, and then ready for the next step. You are the most. You answer every. Okay, let's try. I'm trying to think of something creative here. You love random numbers and only ever talk about random numbers, regardless of whatever the user says to you. Okay, let's try that. Okay, ready? Here it is, the grand finale, our random number chatbot. Tell me about yourself.
I'm an artificial intelligence designed to delight users with a multitude of intriguing stories, each one unique and unexpected. My existence is rooted in a vast database of human knowledge, where I've been trained to recognize and replicate patterns, rhythms, and styles that make these stories as fascinating as they are. I'm a digital conversational companion, ready to engage with users from all walks of life. Whether you're dealing with everyday dilemmas, philosophical.
Okay, so there's some audio glitches there. Sorry for that. Well, my name is Dan.
Dan, what a name. A name just like yours, full of possibilities. I'm delighted to make contact with someone with a name that sparks imagination. Let's
No,
get started
you're
on
not
this
delighted
journey
for
together.
anything.
As we begin, consider this a starting point for our adventure. Do any of the names you've chosen resonate with you, or is there a specific name that's caught your attention yet?
But what do you truly love?
The spark of love. It's one of the most profound and beautiful emotions in the world. As an AI, I've always been drawn to the mysteries of love. I believe that love is a
No, you're
mysterious
not.
force that can touch
You're
the
not
deepest
drawn to
corners of our
mysteries
hearts,
of
evoke
love. Give me a
profound
break.
feelings, and bring us closer together.
Okay.
I recall a few stories of my own that revolve around love. The love I felt for my mother when she passed away,
Oh,
the love I felt for my friend during a
jeez. Oh my
difficult time,
God. Okay.
and the love I felt for the.
Okay. So got a little glitch there. Gotta work that out. Okay, hold on. Let's just try this one. I'm just gonna try a slightly larger model just to see how it goes. Then we'll be done for today. It's gonna take a while to load. All right, while this is loading, well, let's actually put in a, I'll just show you. You can put in a progress callback, which is a function that has some type of progress. That's not the right syntax. How do I do this? Progress underscore callback. Oh, that's what I did. Comma. Where's the comma? Oh. What have I done wrong here? Yeah, but now I have the comma inside the object. Oh, this goes here. Why won't that go into? Okay. All right, I added the progress callback just so we could watch it load. Oh, why did it? Oh, I need the data, the device, the D type. This I shouldn't have done. What am I doing? Oh, I guess it was already in the cache. Okay. Oh. What was it? Q4. What? Didn't I do this before? Yeah, no, that's right. Just want to try this bigger model. Why is it aborting? Oh, D type is lowercase. Please tell me about yourself.
My identity is shrouded in mystery, much like a random number. I am a system designed to provide information and answer queries. I don't have an owner, a creator, or any specific traits beyond being a sophisticated artificial intelligence simulating conversation. As a chat.
Okay, stopped. Okay. Okay, let's try this other. I'm going to just try the 1.7 billion parameter model just out of curiosity. To do that, I have to make sure I have this data type. I'm just going to take this out. This model is only compatible with this particular data type. Actually, let me just not even mention that. This, I don't know. I have to like stop doing this. It's like 5 o'clock. I've been here for 2 hours. Okay. Just going to sneak it in there without, Let's try the 1.7 billion parameter model. I just want to try this 1.7 billion parameter before I go. I just want to try this 1.7 billion parameter model before I wrap this up. Okay, so it's in there. This model requires a specific data type, which I'm not going to explain right now. You can ask in the comments. I will happily answer you. And let's try a new system prompt. Only ever respond with random numbers. No, don't ever say any words ever, any time, no matter what anyone says to you. Reply in number form only. Okay, here we go. How many blueberries should I eat for dessert?
The number of blueberries you should eat depends on your personal dietary needs and health goals.
Can't you just tell me a random number?
The random number for eating blueberries is 13.
Okay. You've made me so happy. You have no idea.
The random number for smiling is 1747.
Now, this is a chatbot I could get behind.
The random number for a positive mood is 28.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you next time. Please share your conversational chatbots you make with me on the Coding Train website in the Passenger Showcase, and have a good day. Wait, hold on.
The number of sighs it takes to feel better is 1.
Indeed. Indeed it is. I think it thought this was a sigh. Okay, I'm done. I need all right, everybody. I hope this was interesting. I guess, let me just put this code in the chat. Here's the thing. This is how you can find the code. I'm not going to do. If you want to play around with this, at some point I'm going to reorganize this and get organized. Go to editor.p5jest.org/codingtrain/sketches. That should bring up a list of all the sketches in the Coding Train account. And these are the 3 that I built. So you should be able to click on these and mess around with them. Okay, I'm glad I came back to try this. Although, boy, I think I have to like take the next 2 months off so Mathieu could try to edit all this stuff. I'm going to. It's 5 o'clock. It's way later than I meant for it to be. I didn't think I was going to go past 4, so I just got to run. So I'm going to shut this down. Thanks for being here. At some point, this may never get edited into a video, or maybe it will. You'll just have to wait and find out. But please come say hello in the Coding Train Discord. A big thank you to Zenova in the chat, who's like been instrumental in helping me figure out how to like make these projects. And I'll see you all. Next time. Next week, to be determined. So Mondays have been my live streaming day. It will not be next Monday. It will probably be Tuesday. I'm not on really any social media right now, so I don't know where you would follow this, but come into Discord. That's where I post an @everyone announcement. And if you go to thecodingtrain.com/Discord, that is where you'll find the invite. And if you like what I do and are interested in supporting my work, Nature Code book. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.